3 weeks ago, I made a decision that cost over $100,000. It altered the trajectory of my life. I was pursuing a doctorate, a DBA. As I got deeper into it, I realized it wasn't my path. So I walked away from it all and put my life savings on the line to forge a new future. I saw a path where I could build something real, something that would provide for my family for generations to come. It's one thing to read about investing, it's another to move a six-figure sum of money. In that moment of fear, there was also a surge of excitement. I was betting on myself, and that's the most powerful investment you can make. You might know me as the DBA Dropout. I realized that the biggest risk wasn't losing money, it was losing time. This journey is a real-world case study in the making. Today, I'm showing you my exact plan to invest $100,000 in real estate. This is a complete, unfiltered strategy. I'm opening up my playbook with no secrets. You'll see my real numbers, market analysis, and target properties. The best way to learn is by doing or watching someone else do it. This is your front row seat to my entire process. I'll share the challenges and mistakes I make along the way. This is about the real work that goes into building a real estate empire. I want to create the resource I was looking for. My goal is to demystify real estate investing and prove you don't need a fancy degree to build wealth. You just need a solid plan, courage, and willingness to learn. Let's get into the plan. Academia promises intellectual discovery and prestige, but mapping out a professor's career, I saw a hard income ceiling. Researching average salaries was disheartening. Even at the top, income potential was capped. The effort didn't match the reward. I realized a comfortable life wasn't enough. I wanted an extraordinary one. I desired financial independence and active wealth building. I needed a path without an institutional ceiling holding me back. While the limitations of academia became clearer, my fascination with real estate grew into an obsession. It was the polar opposite of the world I was preparing to enter. Instead of theoretical papers, real estate dealt with tangible assets: brick, concrete, and land. You could walk up to your investment, touch it, and see its value. Instead of a fixed salary, it offered multiple streams of income: cash flow from rent, appreciation over time, loan amortization paid by tenants, and significant tax advantages. It wasn't just a different career path, it was a completely different financial operating system, one built for wealth creation. I started consuming every piece of information I could find. I wasn't just reading blog posts, I was analyzing the numbers. I created spreadsheets comparing the long-term returns of real estate against traditional stock market investments. While stocks are great, real estate offered something more powerful: leverage. The ability to control a $200,000 asset with only a $40,000 down payment is a massive advantage. It's like being able to use a giant lever to lift your net worth. This one concept alone was more powerful than any financial theory I had studied in my doctoral program. It was real-world leverage that could accelerate my journey to financial freedom exponentially. The more I learned, the more I saw real estate as a business, not just a passive investment. As the owner, you are the CEO. You find the deals, acquisitions, you secure the financing, you manage the property, operations, and you market it to tenants, marketing. This resonated deeply with my business administration background. I realized I didn't have to leave my education behind. I could apply it in a much more direct and profitable way. Every skill I was learning in my DBA program, from financial analysis to strategic management, could be put to work building my own real estate portfolio. This wasn't abandoning my education. It was redirecting it toward a more compelling goal. The contrast was stark. In academia, my success would be measured by the number of papers I published or the committees I sat on. The rewards were largely reputational. In real estate, success is measured by clear, undeniable metrics: net cash flow, return on investment, and growth in equity. It's a pure meritocracy. The market doesn't care about your credentials or your title. It only rewards sound decisions and effective execution. This direct link between action and outcome was incredibly appealing. I was tired of theoretical exercises. I was ready to step into the arena and build something real, something that would generate wealth while I slept. This decision was about thinking beyond my own lifetime. I wanted to build a financial legacy, a foundation of assets for my family for generations. Real estate is uniquely suited for building this kind of generational wealth. It's an asset that can be held for decades and passed down to heirs. This shift from earning a living to building a legacy was profound. It became about strategically acquiring assets that would work for me. I'm not just working for a paycheck, I'm building an empire. I chose a path where I could build a legacy of freedom and opportunity for my family. I'm investing in the future. Let's get into the real-world planning. A $100,000 war chest sounds like a lot of money, and it is. Every single dollar needed a specific job. I created a detailed budget for my initial investment phase. This is about launching a business, and my $100,000 is the startup capital. My strategy is built around house hacking, buying a small multifamily property, live in one unit, and rent out the others. I've broken down the $100,000 into 4 main buckets: the down payment, closing costs, a renovation fund, and a healthy reserve fund. The balance is everything. $50,000 is for the down payment, $10,000 is for closing costs, $20,000 for renovations, and $20,000 for a reserve fund. This plan is my battle map, and I'm ready to follow it. The biggest piece of my investment, at $50,000, is the down payment. It's the key that unlocks the power of leverage, allowing me to control an asset worth much more. I benefit from the appreciation and cash flow of the entire property. I can get into the game now, instead of saving for decades. My target is to find a property where my $50,000 down payment represents between 15 and 20% of the purchase price. This gives me instant equity in the property from day one. This $50,000 is being converted into a real tangible asset. It's the price of admission to the world of real estate investing, and I'm ready to buy my ticket. The down payment gets you the property, but renovation and reserve funds keep you in the game. Many investors pour everything into the purchase, leaving nothing for inevitable problems. A property breaks. My $40,000 renovation and reserve funds are my defense. The renovation budget adds value through cosmetic updates. This increases rent and property value forced appreciation. The reserve fund covers 6 months of expenses, providing stability and separating professionals from amateurs. Now that the money is allocated, the next big question is what kind of property to buy. This is a huge decision that shapes the entire investment. The 2 main options I'm considering are single-family homes and small multifamily properties, like duplexes or triplexes. A single-family home is often seen as simpler. You have one tenant, one roof, and one set of problems. They are also easier to find and finance, and they tend to appreciate well over time. The simplicity is tempting, especially for a first investment. It feels like a safer, more manageable entry point into the world of being a landlord. I could easily find a nice 3-bedroom house and rent it out to a family. However, my goal is to build wealth as efficiently as possible. While a single-family home is a solid investment, a multifamily property offers a powerful advantage: multiple streams of income under one roof. If you own a duplex and one tenant moves out, you still have 50% of your rental income coming in from the other unit. If you own a single-family home and the tenant leaves, your income drops to 0. That vacancy risk is much higher. Multifamily properties are a business in a box. They are designed from the ground up to be income-generating assets, and that aligns perfectly with my goal of creating robust cash flow. After weighing the pros and cons, I'm leaning heavily toward buying a small multifamily property, specifically a duplex. This is the cornerstone of my house hacking strategy. By purchasing a duplex and living in one of the units myself, I can dramatically reduce my personal living expenses. The rent from the other unit will cover a large portion, if not all, of my mortgage payment. This is a massive financial cheat code. It means my biggest monthly expense, housing, is essentially paid for by my tenant. This frees up more of my own money to save and reinvest into the next property, accelerating my entire plan. This strategy isn't just about saving money, it's about risk mitigation and learning. By living on site, I can keep a close eye on my investment. I'll learn how to be a landlord firsthand, dealing with maintenance requests and tenant communication in real time. It's an immersive, hands-on education in property management. While some people don't want to live next to their tenants, I see it as a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. The financial and educational benefits of house hacking a duplex are just too powerful to ignore for a first-time investor like me. It's the perfect launchpad for my real estate empire. So, what does my ideal property actually look like? I have a very specific set of criteria. I'm searching for a duplex built after 1970 in a B-class neighborhood. I'm looking for a property that is structurally sound but cosmetically dated. Let me describe a duplex listed for $320,000. Each unit is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment built in 1985. The kitchens have laminate countertops and old appliances, and the flooring is worn-out carpet. This is exactly what I'm looking for, a value-add opportunity. With my $20,000 renovation budget, I could update the kitchens and flooring. These upgrades would allow me to raise the rent. This is the power of forcing appreciation and optimizing a property's performance. This property excites me because it checks all my boxes. A great property in a bad market is a losing investment. That's why my strategy starts with location, not just the property itself. I use strict criteria: strong job growth, rising population, and landlord-friendly laws. I treat this like a research project, analyzing data, not guessing. Job growth is my top priority. Diverse industries mean stability and resilience. I look for cities with steady population increases, more people, more demand for rentals. I focus on mid-sized cities in the Southeast and Midwest with these trends. Landlord laws matter too. I avoid places where regulations make it hard to protect my investment. Combining these factors gives me the best shot at long-term success. This data-driven approach keeps emotion out and stacks the odds in my favor. A goal without a timeline is just a dream. I've mapped out a 12-month plan, broken into clear phases. First 3 months, market analysis and deal hunting. Analyzing 5 properties a week, making at least 2 offers. Months 4 to 6, get a property under contract, negotiate, inspect, and close. By month 6, I want the keys in hand. Months 7 to 9, renovate while living in one unit, get the second unit ready to rent. By month 9, renovations done, second unit listed. Months 10 to 12, find a quality tenant, sign a lease, and stabilize management. By the end of the year, property fully occupied, positive cash flow, house hack complete. This timeline keeps me accountable and focused. Setbacks will happen, but this plan is my North Star. Real estate isn't just numbers, it's facing real fears. What if the market crashes right after I buy? What if I discover a hidden, expensive repair? What if I can't find a good tenant, or worse, get stuck with a nightmare tenant? These risks are real, and ignoring them is dangerous. By writing down every what if, I turn anxiety into action steps. Each fear becomes a problem I can plan for. This mindset shift turns me from a worrier into a prepared investor. Facing the risks head-on gives me the confidence to move forward. Knowing the risks is one thing. Preparing for them is everything. My first layer: a $20,000 cash reserve for repairs or vacancies. Second, comprehensive landlord insurance to cover disasters and liability. Third, I only buy properties that generate positive cash flow from day one. These layers work together: reserves for surprises, insurance for catastrophes, cash flow for ongoing stability. If the market dips, cash flow covers the mortgage. If repairs hit, reserves handle it. If disaster strikes, insurance steps in. I can't eliminate risk, but I can control it. This is how I protect my investment and sleep at night. This is my blueprint for turning $100,000 into lasting wealth. I left academia for real estate, chasing financial freedom and a legacy. Every dollar has a job: down payment, closing costs, renovations, and reserves. I target duplexes for house hacking. Lower living costs, faster savings. I buy in markets with job and population growth and fair landlord laws. I face risks head-on with cash reserves, insurance, and a focus on cash flow. Every step is intentional, every decision strategic. This plan is the result of years of study and the start of a lifetime of action. I'm betting my future on this, and I'm all in. This video is an invitation to see the plan become reality. You'll see properties, offers, negotiations, and challenges. There will be no secrets, just lessons learned. This is your chance to see a real estate business being built from scratch with transparency. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to follow along. If you had $100,000 to invest right now, what would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the journey.